Well, hello and welcome back, my Bottle Language buddies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Bottle Language guy, and welcome to episode 123 of the Jesus Enrique Rosas Show. We're live through YouTube, Rumble, and on the X, and we have quite a show today. Just a reminder that the best way to support my channel is to just like and subscribe. It's as simple as that. Let me see, make sure that everything is lined up here. We got a packed show. Let's go through the topics that we're going to be talking about today. Before we start, I'm going to confirm that we are live. Rumble confirmed, YouTube confirmed. What else we have here? Everything going smooth. Just in case here. All right, we're live through all the channels. We're gonna have final confirmation, if you needed any further confirmation, that Trump is the good guy in when it comes to the Epstein files. So many people still yelling about this. The meat and potatoes of today's show is gonna be Megyn Kelly doubling down, tripling down on I am not going to call out Candace. I prefer to die. I just wonder what does Candace have on her that is concerning. I wouldn't like to be in her shoes. That's for certain. We have all those ads at the Super Bowl. There was one that should really concern you. That is the Ring Super Bowl commercial for reasons that we're going to find out very shortly. We're going to talk about that last video by Savannah Guthrie on her mother, the latest updates. Sadly, we don't have any concrete updates, but we have this a video that changes the narrative again. I didn't get this, and why does this happen? And finally, we're going to have a body language analysis, a wholesome body language analysis, with so many bad news and so many horrific things happening in the world. Having something wholesome in today's show, it's gonna be a change. This is gonna be really interesting. Remember, not only you can like and subscribe, you can also get my book, Body Language in 40 Days, my complete guide to understanding yourself and other people, so you can persuade. You can be more confident after you finish reading my book, and you can get it both as in Kindle and also as a paperback on Amazon using the link in the description of this video. So make sure that you get it. You can get it at merch as well. And also you can donate to my channel if you feel like it. I think that we are ready to begin. Just a reminder that as in every single other show, this show is 100% live. I'm right here happening. There's something bad happens, which usually sound. Sometimes I usually forget to switch the sound properly, and you begin yelling on the live chat, Jesus the sound, and you will realize that perhaps that is one way of confirming that these shows are 100% live. And yes, I will make sure from today's show onwards that after 1 hour after the live stream ends, I will upload this to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Podcasts, if that's your thing. But that is going to be the plan. That is going to be the plan. Also, I will keep an eye on your comments, of course, not only for the bad things that can happen, but also every single one of your takes. If you have a good take, I will highlight it. I will comment it. You have questions, I could highlight them. I will try to keep an eye throughout the whole show. And of course, any super chats, super stickers, I will be reading them at the end of the show. So we are ready to begin, and we need to address this. Today's show might be a bit tighter than usual, but I think that is a good thing. Having a tight show, as Tuco would say. Maybe you get that Breaking Bad reference. I hope that you do. Maybe that you're as much of a nerd of TV shows and movies and music and everything. I can be a nerd of so many things, but Every single one of these topics, maybe you want to watch my whole show, but every single one of these topics, I'm going to cut it and I'm going to send it to every single one of my channels on YouTube that you can see in the link of the description as well. The Power Pundit, the Body Language Guy, the Roger Rogue, it depends on the topic. Most of them are going to go on my Body Language Guy channel right now. So let's begin. We're ready to begin. So, los pollos hermanos. I remember los pollos hermanos. There's a lot of AI spoofs out there. A lot of AI spoofs out there. And you know that I wanted to analyze scenes and from movies and TV shows. Maybe I would do that at some point. So many people haven't, or maybe you did watch Breaking Bad a long time ago and you don't remember the scenes. But maybe I will do that at some point. Maybe I will do that at some point. But it's time to talk about Donald Trump and maybe the final way of understanding that Donald Trump is the good guy when it comes to the Epstein files. So many people saying that, oh, he has been mentioned how many times? Like 40,000 times in that 3 million document dump of the DOJ. A bit more than a week ago, but it turns out that, yeah, he was the good guy all the way to the early 2000s. Because we have this, a former police chief who investigated Jeffrey Epstein in the mid-2000s told the FBI he had received a call from Donald Trump at the time to say, "Thank goodness you're stopping him. Everyone has known he's been doing this," according to an FBI account. And how do we don't know this? Because it's in the files dump. It's in the files dump. Unsealed court documents reviewed by the Miami Herald show Donald Trump called Palm Beach police about Jeffrey Epstein in 2006. Trump described Ghislaine Maxwell as Epstein's operative, and she is evil and to focus on her. So Donald Trump had already figured this out a long time ago, and I don't know how so many, we're talking about millions of people around the world, are saying that he's trying to cover up for PDF files. I don't know how that works. How do you explain this? But the thing is that they refer to the Epstein files, and they also refer to a lot of stuff just made up online by AI, which is dangerous enough. So that's why I try to verify the sources. I try to verify everything that I share with you here in the show so we can get to the bottom of these rabbit holes and to the true bottom, not to some AI created fuel frenzy, which is basically ubiquitous these days. Like everybody, you see everything in WhatsApp groups, people having these meltdowns over Trump. Oh yeah, he had these things with kids, with children, and they don't know. They refer to the Epstein files, and it turns out that we have more information that, yeah, Trump is one of the good guys. Former Palm Beach, Florida police chief who investigated Jeffrey Epstein in the mid-2000s told the FBI he had received a call from Donald Trump at the time to say, "Thank goodness you're stopping him," according to an FBI account of an interview. The Miami Herald was the first to report on the document. President Trump has repeatedly denied any knowledge of Epstein's crimes and has said that he cut off contact with his former friend more than 20 years ago. Trump has claimed that he booted Epstein from Mar-a-Lago after discovering that he was poaching employees from the club's spa. And you remember that I made a video about that, from that interview on Rudy Giuliani, and I shared that on my Power Pundit channel on YouTube. So make sure that you go and watch that one. So moving forward, the police chief's name, Michael Reiter, is redacted from the document on the Department of Justice website, but the information in the FBI statement tracks with previously public information about Reiter's role in the investigation that began in 2005. Reiter's detectives were investigating Epstein for allegedly recruiting girls as young as 14 years old to provide massages that turn sexual. The information about Trump's alleged call makes up just a small part of a 4-page FBI report summarizing Reiter's testimony in October 2019, 2 months after Epstein's death. Donald Trump told Reiter that he threw Epstein out of his club. Trump called the Palm Beach Police Department to tell him, "Thank goodness you're stopping him. Everyone has known he's been doing this," the FBI report says. Trump told him that people in New York knew Epstein was disgusting. Trump said Maxwell was Epstein's operative. She's evil and to focus on her. By the way, Ghislaine Maxwell was in this quote-unquote grilling. Was not a grilling because she just pleaded the fifth over and over again. So I think that is dead end at this point. Trump told Reiter that he was around Epstein once when teenagers went present and Trump got the hell out of there. Trump was one of the very first people to call them when people found out that they were investigating Epstein, the report on Reiter's statement said. So yes, this is what we got. And moving on, when I say that people are trying to pile up on Donald Trump because it is trendy, there's so many trendy things nowadays. If you want a huge audience really fast, you can pile up on Donald Trump, all right? You can say, tell lies about Donald Trump that will get you an audience very quickly. Let's say that boosts the odds of you being sued as well, but it's your call. Maybe hating on the Jews is also trendy nowadays. Israel this, Israel that, they control the world. You go for that, you open a YouTube channel or an X account, you begin saying that, you're going to be a star, like instantly. So many people are into it. And if you're a pessimist, doomerist, that nothing works, voting doesn't work for anything, we are doomed, we are controlled by this intergalactic reptilians from the Illuminati, you will have an audience as well. Everybody has an audience. Even Candace Owens has learned how to weaponize that kind of audience. It seems that Sean Ryan, who has a quite successful, I must say, podcast on YouTube, he was interviewing this American politician, Ro Khanna, and they were basically saying that Donald Trump was covering up for PDF files. And again, I don't know how that works. Why weren't they having all this meltdown when Biden was in office? Why aren't they talking about all the ways that even, the victims, Epstein's victims, attorneys, not only the victims, but the attorney said that the one helping the investigation has been the one and only Donald Trump. So, but that they want to cherry pick what works for their narrative. Because again, if you hate on Donald Trump, that brings clicks. That brings clicks. That is a fact. Okay, so Mr. Poole, Trump released the Epstein files 10 days ago. Here's the body count. Lord Mandelson from the UK under criminal investigation. Police raided his properties. Prince Andrew, oh my God, stripped of royal protection, fled Royal Lodge. William and Kate, they are not involved in the Epstein files, but they broke silence for the first time, deeply concerned. They say that they're terrified. I don't think that William and Catherine have to be terrified of anything. From Norway, the ambassador to the U.S. resigned. The Norwegian crown princess, I have to make a video about the Norwegian royal family. That is such a mess. Brad Karp, chairman of Paul Weiss, one of America's most powerful law firms, resigned. Larry Summers resigned from OpenAI board. Chapel Roan left her talent agency after CEO's Epstein's email surfaced. Oh my God, this is Steve Bannon. But I have to make a video about Steve Bannon. Maybe after this show, I will prepare something for tomorrow. And in 17 days, Bill Clinton under oath on camera on February 27. And Hillary will be on February 26th. And we will be there to watch that. One man did this. Not a committee, not a movement, not a hashtag. One relentless man who they told you to hate. The dominoes are falling and he's only getting started. This is where we are. Yeah, Mace Moore. Big shout out to Mace Moore. Trump reported Epstein before Epstein became a convicted sex offender. Bill Gates befriended Epstein after Epstein became a convicted sex offender. Democrats won't mention Bill Gates' name but publicly call Trump a child rapist. That's the quote-unquote Democrat hoax part of this. That's the only way that Democrats can weaponize this. Because they know that they couldn't do that under Biden because they had nothing. They had nothing on Trump. And this is interesting. I shared a video with you. I made a video yesterday about the victims, and so many people asking the question why victims don't just say the names of their abusers, of their attackers, of their perpetrators, of what happened. And Elon Musk has a great take here that I didn't think about. He connected the dots in a very succinct and clever way. Most of the child victims were turned into traffickers themselves by Epstein after age 18. By making them commit crime with him, Epstein ensured their silence more than any NDA possibly could. They should be offered amnesties in order to testify. And yes, this is something that this is like a power move. You make sure to smear your victims with something, so in the case they want to testify or go against you, the smear is going to affect themselves as well. So yes, for any attorney, that would be a mess. For any discovery that they wanted to go for, that is going to be a mess. So Elon Musk is at the same time, which he was mentioned more than a couple times in the Epstein files. Yes, he asked Epstein when was his wildest parties, but he never went to any party in the end. He's not only making sure to people to know that if any Epstein victim is sued, he will personally cover for the legal expenses of that victim. He just said that, all right? And at the same time, he's saying that they should be offered amnesties in order to be able to fully testify about what happened. Okay, you were turned into the trafficker yourself, and this is at the same time angering people because some women did this after they were 20 years old or 22 years old, and people are asking why should they be given some kind of amnesty if they did this when they were already grown-up women. So yeah, this is actually quite complicated. There are other takes like Gunther Eagleman. I agree, time to expose the real criminals. Justice must be served. Life Math Money. Epstein read the 48 Laws of Power from Robert Greene, and the 48 Laws of Power has this quote: "It is often wise to implicate in your deceptions the very person who can do you the most harm if you fail. Their involvement can be subtle. Even a hint of their involvement will narrow their options and buy their silence." Yeah, that is one of the laws of maintaining power. And it's obvious that Jeffrey Epstein was one of the, let's say, most proficient, we could say, operatives that in modern times. So the guy knew how to do his stuff. Paul Cipula, that's all they know in their lives. Sadly, it's insidious. This is something that it's hard to escape. J.E. May, this is a problem with some and many Epstein victims. They graduated from the category of underage victim and continued in sex work as willing adults. And due to their background, they are unstable and unreliable as legal witnesses. I told you in that video we were talking about the victims of Jeffrey Epstein that we needed to have this kind of category that the most naive and let's say the most tragic victims were those underage girls who were trafficked, who were used for these horrendous acts, and then they were disappear without a trace. And it is obvious that there must have been girls like that, and we will never know their names, and nobody went to look for them, because some of them were even trafficked from countries in Eastern Europe. So again, it's just there's a very disturbing rabbit hole. But we have all the way to the victims who, yes, they were trafficked underage. They become adults, and as adults, they began helping Jeffrey Epstein to recruit more girls for these acts. So yeah, that is you have the whole scope of victims. It's not an easy situation. It's something really complicated, but I would like to know, what do you think about this in the comments. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Power Pundit. Much love and bliss. I mentioned the Power Pundit because remember that I have the Power Pundit, which is my American politics channel, and I right now, as we are going through this live stream, I'm going to upload this section that you just saw or listened to. Many of your cases, you just listened to my show, and I appreciate that. I'm going to upload that right now to my Power Pundit channel. This is very useful for me because I usually do this at the end of the show, and sometimes I'm a bit tired. And this is one screenshot, by the way, of Ghislaine Maxwell, associate of Epstein, going full Fifth Amendment mode during her oversight deposition. Total silence. I was not going to. This is like 4 minutes or 3 minutes and a half, but it's not worth it because it's just her repeating over and over again that she is going to plead the fifth over and over again. This over and over again. Okay, one Leslie Ann, you are arriving late to the party. Is Trump innocent? Heard he was in the files. I've made quite some videos already, Leslie, about this, in the sense that yes, Trump was mentioned close to 40,000 times in the files, but we already know that what kind of mentions were those. Were unverified reports of people just having this line that they could call during the Biden administration that were not verified. Some of them were actually by the FBI say this is not a reliable witness or a reliable tip. And Epstein himself confirmed in an email that Trump never had any sort of massage, and that they were not in the best terms. And well, coming from Epstein, that is quite that we could say that is how to say this, that's something good to be in, a good position to be in. Someone very bad says that you're dangerous. You know how they say bad reviews from bad people are good reviews. But there's the state in which we are in. And again, I call the shots as I see them. And so many people are telling me that, oh, I am a Trump apologist or something like that. I just reading what's in the files in the way that you can understand. And everything that you watch in this channel, and you watch in my show, you can verify it for yourself. I am not guided by feelings and vibes. I'm showing you on screen what you need to look for if you want to verify anything that I say here. So that's a deal that I'm making with you. And in terms of seeing and verifying, my God, we need to talk about the Ring commercial during the Super Bowl. In case you don't know, maybe you are afraid of all this surveillance state that your mobile phone is spying on you. You say something or send a text or you do something with your mobile phone and all of a sudden you have ads about that topic. In fact, some people have experience that they think about something that they don't think about all the time, and they just receive ads, are served ads about that. So yeah, it's very creepy the way that these companies, obviously they are listening and say snitching these other companies on about us so they can serve the proper ads. Even if they ask for our permission. But the real problem is with things like the Ring Super Bowl commercial. I'm gonna play it, and it's so cute because it includes a puppy, and then you know that you can do. You can send any sort of message using a puppy because people are gonna say, "Oh my God, how cute a puppy! How cute a puppy this is." But the problem is what they are trying to program you with. Let's watch the ad.
This is Milo. Pets are family. But every year, 10 million go missing. And the way we look for them hasn't changed in years. Until now. One post of a dog's photo in the Ring app starts outdoor cameras looking for a match. Search Party from Ring uses AI to help families find lost dogs. Since launch, more than a dog a day has been reunited with their family. Be a hero in your neighborhood with Search Party. Available to everyone for free right now. Join the neighborhood at ring.com.
Okay, that's nice, right? That is nice. You lose your dog, and then you have this absolutely non-dystopian network of Ring cameras all over your neighborhood scanning the street at the same time. Okay, that is the part that I'm sure you are noticing, that we're gonna have a bit of a problem with this. And yes, where have I seen this before? Oh yeah, it was in The Dark Knight, Batman The Dark Knight. You remember that Batman had built this kind of radar that connected every single smartphone from Gotham into this vast network in which he could basically spy on everyone. Yeah, this is what we're talking about. Every single person who has bought a Ring camera, and now it's connected to an AI searcher that, in this case it's puppies, right? And since it's puppies, it's okay, I guess. But I guess that this can also search for cars and license plates and faces and people. And yeah, this is basically, I mean, this is brilliant. This is brilliant in so many ways, because you know that if you, I don't know if you know about the drama in London about the Blade Runners who are taking all these ULED cameras, who are the cameras who are basically trying to reproduce this Chinese state of surveillance, of knowing when you enter and you exit certain areas, so they can charge you just by knowing about your license plate, and they're following you everywhere. And well, that is basically being followed everywhere. But many people don't like that. I mean, there are cities in the world in which people are willing to relinquish their privacy for safety. That's a thing. But the idea is to have that choice. Okay, you purposefully move into cities like that because, well, you want to feel safer. The idea is not for that surveillance state to move into your neighborhood because you have not approved of that. So this is the main issue. I'm seeing that this is the most overt way. Okay, notice that the camera is for searching and that it can detect anything, movement, and it means that this is connected to a server, a single server that is going to parse through that information. And then it begs the question, who has access to this information? And of course, the people at Ring are going to say, we are not going to sell your information to any third parties. But if Edward Snowden taught us anything, is that every single three-letter agency, not only in the United States, but the world, at some point will have access to this kind of stuff. They will have backdoors to be able to access to this information because of security issues. They will spy on you and your wife. I didn't know, by the way, thank you, the Ambrose Media, for mentioning this. I didn't know that it was Ring who had settled a multi-million-dollar lawsuit a few years ago, in the sense that people were also installing Ring cameras inside their houses, not only in the living room, but in bedrooms and bathrooms as well. And it turns out that employees at Ring had access to that footage. Yeah, the footage was not encrypted, so anybody could have had access to basically your daily activities and your daily bowel movements at the very least. So yeah, it's that didn't look good. So again, you asked me, what can we do about this? Well, the first thing that we can do about this is there are ways to do this without having to be connected to the internet. There are solutions. I cannot give you any solutions. I'm not going to sell you anything here, but I'm pretty sure that you can connect cameras and you can have your own, let's say, surveillance system for your home without having to be connected to this disturbing puppy scanning technology, because, well, it's puppies, right? It's puppies. Why would you put a camera in your bathroom and bedroom? People understand that anything that connects to the internet, anyone can view. You know that. I guess that the problem is is like when we were talking about Nancy Guthrie. Maybe someone who is older. Maybe if you have a grandmother who is hell bent into living alone at her house, and you want to make sure to look after her. It makes sense that you're going to include a camera in the bedroom and in the bathroom, because maybe you want to, if she has an accident or something, or if you don't know about her, you can quickly check in any part of the house she's in. I'm just coming up with something off the top of my head, precisely because we're going to talk about Nancy Guthrie in a minute. But again, that opens the door for bad actors to do bad things. This is something that I don't know. I don't know. It's when, like, we were talking about surrogacy. You had, situations in which there can be an upside, but the downsides and the way to weaponize and do malicious stuff with this is it's so big that I don't think it's worth it. If you're not ripping your Ring camera off your house right now and dropping the whole thing into a pot of boiling water, what are you doing? 12 million views. 12 million views. I think this, and it's incredible because Ring must have spent $10 million for that Super Bowl ad. $10 million. So they basically paid $10 million and they developed, who knows how much did they invest for this technology to basically start bleeding customers. Because, customers are going to be concerned about, hey, what do you mean that you are going to be connected? And yes, it's like Akash Gupta says, Ring pays somewhere between 8 and 10 million for a 30-second Super Bowl spot to tell 120 million viewers that the cameras now scan neighborhoods using AI. The math is wild. Ring has roughly 20 million devices in American homes. Search Party, which is the mode that we're talking about, the puppy scanning mode, is enabled by default. The opt-out rate on default settings in consumer tech is historically around 5%. That means that only 5% of users opt out or reject the service that are installed by default. Everybody just set up the camera and call it a day. It's like what happened with the Nancy Guthrie as well, that there was no connection to the cloud or anything of the sort. There was no subscription. People just fire and forget, set and forget. And that is, companies take advantage of this. So approximately 19 million cameras are now running AI pattern matching on anything that moves past your front door. Today, the target is dogs. The same infrastructure already handles familiar faces, which builds the biometric profiles of every person your camera sees, whether they know about it or not. All right. Ring settled with the FTC for $5.8 million after employees had unrestricted access to customers' bedroom and bathroom footage for years. Years. They are now partnered with Flock Safety, which routes footage to local law enforcement. ICE has accessed Flock data through local police departments acting as intermediaries. Senator Markey's investigation found Ring's privacy protections only apply to device owners. If you're a neighbor, a delivery driver, a passerby, you have no rights and no recourse. This tells you everything about Amazon's actual product. The customer paid for the camera. The customer pays for the electricity. The customer pays the $4 a month subscription, and Amazon gets a surveillance grid that would cost tens of billions to build from scratch, with an AI layer activated by default and a law enforcement pipeline already connected. They wrap all of that in a Lost Puppy commercial because that's the only version of this story anyone would willingly opt into. Again, that was the word is brilliant to some extent, but I think that they underestimated the way that people were going to react to this, and they got. I think they will deserve everything that is coming to them. But I would like to know, what do you think about this in the comments? My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Bottle Language Guy. Much love and bliss. Yes, this is the world. This is the world that we're in. Con Game Pro, Trump is a good guy. It says that Con Game Pro hasn't watched my videos, for example. Con Game Pro, you are a Joe and you are banned. Ban Con Game Pro. I'm gonna ban you live. And Con Game Pro has been banned from my channel right in front of everyone. Nice. I like this. I like this when people come to my channel and they just say that, oh yes, I'm gonna do, you know what? I'm going to, let me see, make sure that I did this. Thank you, CW. CW had already done her work as well. Oh yeah, I love when people come to my channel, do not watch my videos, and then have an opinion on something that I have spoken about over, I don't know, weeks, and have poured hours of video into, and I have clips for their viewing convenience. I don't know. I don't know. That's basically how this works. I think that they feel that they have some sort of right to come here and call me names and pretend like I'm going to care about what they say. And again, maybe if this guy would have said that while I was speaking by the Ring camera, but he had to say that. He had to say that when I was on my break. And on my break, I'm looking at your comments. And that was the first comment I saw. So I had all the time in the world to see that he was saying something absurd. Again, I have no problem with you coming to my channels and going to my comments and saying, oh, I disagree with you on this and such and such. But if you disagree with me on something that I have repeated around 7 or 8 times over several shows, and worst of all, you have an ad hominem attack, then you are banned. You are banned. Okay? It's that simple. And yeah, this is not a democracy. I am a dictator here, a literal dictator. And let's see, let's talk about nonsense. This is the topic that we need to talk about right now. The topic that brought us here. Con Game Pro is the same guy that will tell you Cuba and Venezuela. Respect private property. Hands off Venezuela. Yeah. Go F yourself, whoever that is. Thank you, Barbarian King. Thank you, Barbarian King. My husband wouldn't let us put up Ring cameras. Yeah, that's the right call. That is the right call. Super chat from Patricia Luna. Patricia, thank you. Thank you for the super chat. I'm going to read it right away. I love your show and your refreshing perspective. Your sense of humor is fantastic. You're giving me a smile. Much love and bliss. Post-scriptum, I am sick of Candace Owens. Oh, yeah. I apologize for talking about Candace once again, but we need to address this because this has become a joke. I mean, at the beginning, it was just noise, but now it's full-blown manipulation. So, yeah, that is basically my field of expertise. Other super chats and super stickers. Margie Coin with a star. Thank you for that. And Lee of Monaco that was asking what was the ban comment about. Well, people being stupid, just plain stupid. That is the thing that is. So many of you say that I should run for president. I can't run for president. I could run for president of Venezuela. Maybe I could make Venezuela great again. Maybe I would be way too right-wing for Venezuela, but that is another story. But we need to talk about this. We need to talk about Megyn Kelly, the not mother of the internet. She went on Piers Morgan, and it's incredible. Both Candace Owens and Megyn Kelly are doing something that I never knew somebody could do, is to make me like Piers Morgan. Both Candace and Megyn Kelly, their appearance on this guy's show, which I always thought that Piers Morgan is a snake, it's incredible that even if he's still a snake, being next to Megyn Kelly in this case, and Candace Owens back in a few weeks ago, makes him look good. Which, it's a bit poetic. In this case, Megyn Kelly says that she would rather die than condemn Candace Owens' anti-Semitism and deranged conspiracy theories. So let's see what Megyn really said, if she really said this.
And just on Candace Owens, you've been very supportive of her, not critical, even though she, I would argue, and I have to her face when I've had her on the show, I get on well with Candace, but some of the stuff she's been doing in relation to Erica Kirk, Brigitte Macron and others, I do think is really regrettable, kind of conspiracy theory nonsense just for clicks and money.
Notice that Piers Morgan has mentioned explicitly Erica Kirk. He also mentioned Brigitte Macron, but he said the words Erica Kirk. And I noticed that Megyn is a bit uncomfortable because she's got her shoulders a bit high and a bit together. You see that she is she's got that analytical stare. That is part of her body language baseline, but the shoulders, she is actually a bit uncomfortable for the question that is inevitably coming.
Why would you hesitate before criticizing her over stuff like that?
Remember, he said the words Erica Kirk. Okay, he said, I get on well with Candace. I don't know how that works, but it was like preparing the question. So how can you endorse Candace even if she is openly attacking Erica Kirk, which has been basically a lot of conspiracy theories, which is an actual fact. So 1 point for Morgan, I guess.
I've criticized Candace many times over the years. We've had many public fights over the years.
We are not aware of any single one of those fights, but you do you.
But isn't it interesting that you will, quote, platform Candace? She hasn't been on my show in several years, but I get all the hard time. Why am I getting that? You're the one, quote, platforming Candace Owens. She and I don't have that kind of relationship. Candace took a bunch of crap because she was very anti-Israel in the Gaza war.
That was not the question. At no point he mentioned Israel or the Gaza war, but okay, I guess.
And it became a thing where you had to say she was terrible in her positioning. And then after Charlie died, she started questioning whether Israel had any role in it. And that's when they really tried to amp up the pressure on me to condemn her.
No, Ben Shapiro literally told to your face, Megyn, what Candace was doing. Now, that moment, I tried to be fair, and Ben said something that Candace hadn't said directly and expressly, and Ben implied that she had said that expressly, which was not. But again, Ben was directionally, maybe if literally inaccurate, he was directionally accurate. But even at that point, we could give Candace, the benefit of the doubt. But Ben was not having any of this. But at the same time, Ben, had kind of a conflict of interest for reasons, that Candace used to work for the Daily Wire. So there's that. So, okay, we could give Megyn a pass with this one. I am not aware. What was weird and unacceptable was her saying that, oh, I'm not being paid, or I don't know about this sort of things. And that is bollocks. Why? Because it's like me and my job here as a commentator. I have to be aware of everything. So it's like saying, oh, I am not aware of that. Oh, yeah. Megyn Kelly had to be 100% aware of that because, yeah, she was about to be invited to AmFest by Turning Point and say that Turning Point was awesome and the guys at Turning Point were beautiful and Erica Kirk was amazing. But she didn't care. She didn't care about whatever Candace was doing at the time, much less now. So that is where we need to call out her hypocrisy.
And I refused because Charlie was starting to have serious questions about Israel.
Nobody is talking about Israel, Megyn.
Not just its role in the Gaza war, but its influence on American politicians, something he and I spent hours and hours discussing. So I had no problem with Candace Owens asking those questions.
We're talking about Erica Kirk, Megyn. Are you going to mention Eric at some point?
And I refused to condemn her because I was under pressure from these people who wanted me to.
I think that somebody said that she made the Tucker Carlson voice. I refuse to condemn her. She did the Tucker Carlson voice.
And I refused to condemn her because I was under pressure from these people who wanted me to. And then that morphed into then everything Candace said thereafter, with which I may or may not have had serious problems, that I had to, where's the condemnation? And it was all really about the Israel thing.
No, this is gaslighting from Megyn Kelly. This is deflection. This is a straw man argument. You ask a person about something and you know how she's acting, right? This is an acting. She's pretending to be upset about something, and what she's upset about has no relationship with the original question. So this is literal gaslighting, and you are seeing it in real time right now. I am not making this up. I love pointing out this kind of stuff because you see how, I don't know, what is the expression in English? We say caretabla, like a hard face to somebody. How I don't know how to say that. Somebody who says things to your face without any sort of problem. And she has no issue even being upset about that. How are you there? But this is the best part.
And I'd rather die than bend the knee to these people.
I'd rather die than bend the knee to these people. All right? If that is the hill you're willing to die on, so be it.
I'd rather die than bend the knee. It won't happen. I didn't raise my fist and say BLM, and I'm not going to condemn the people they want me to condemn just so that I can get a little pat on my head from them. It's not important to me.
Okay, it's not important to you, Megyn, but it is not two-faced. Two-faced is somebody who says something to some people and then says the opposite to another. It's somebody who tells a lie to you, lies to you, straight-faced. I don't know if this is the right one. But yeah, that's exactly what Megyn Kelly is doing right now. The reactions, well, you can imagine the reactions. Actually, what about his wife? What about Charlie Kirk's wife? Because that was the question about. He's not questioning Israel. Turning Point USA is her main focus. It's clearly personal. I can't support anyone who supports Candace Owens at this point. It's cowardice. It's cowardice. Ironically, the question was about Candace claiming Erica Kirk was involved in her husband's death. Megyn just deflected to Israel. Of course. Bold-faced lie. Yeah, that's more like I was looking for. Cheryl Tucker. Thank you for that. Like a bold-faced lie. Somebody say it in the comments. Candace speaks truth. Go check your go check yourself. Go check yourself. You have problems. I mean, at this point, if you are still defending Candace, please unfollow. I don't know what are you doing watching my show. I don't know what are you doing watching my show. This is we are incompatible. When you say maybe 5 months ago, okay, I could still have no problem with, I love Candace's show and I love your show. Okay, maybe 5 months ago I could say, all right, you do you, more power to you, whatever. But right now it's I think that you have to make a choice. You absolutely need to make a choice. If you enjoy whatever Candace does, maybe for entertainment, that's one thing. If you take her seriously, then I strongly encourage you to unsubscribe and simply go away. Don't hang out. And if I see you have the opportunity, I'm gonna ban you either way, immediately. It's that simple. I'm serious. I'm not joking about that. Candace has something on Megyn. Yeah, so maybe this is Megyn's cowardice. The problem is that Megyn has, at the same time, has been captured by her audience, and Megyn knows that a huge chunk of her audience is overlapped with Candace's audience, so it's about money. It's about profits. And this was a stop-line Muppet who said that at 125 she did the talker voice. She did the talker voice. And again, Candace feels victimized by Erica Kirk's leadership of Turning Point USA. They're going to force Erica on us. There's absolutely nothing we can do about it. We just got our hands up. We're literally victims here. And this is the kind of things that I'm going to say about Candace, that Candace is smart. And why would I say that Candace is smart? That she knows that her audience is comprised of deranged individuals who are thirsty for conspiracy blood. And the only way that she can keep up with her numbers, which have been, let's say, slipping a bit over the past weeks, is to keep mentioning Erica Kirk. But she needs to mention Erica Kirk in a way that she doesn't get sued, that Candace doesn't get sued herself. All right? So the way to do it is to do this vague stuff as in, Turning Point has all this huge amount of money, they're buying everything, and they're going to push Erica down our throats. That way she appeases her deranged audience, that at the same time, she doesn't get sued. So that's why I tell you, Candace Owens is smart. Her audience, not so much, but that is the audience that she decided to have.
My understanding in looking at this is that this is it. They're going to force Erica on us. Like I said, this is the Kamala thing. There's absolutely nothing we can do about it. We just got our hands up. We are literally victims here.
We are literally victims here. We are victims. Well, she is victim, and her mommy sleuths are victims because Turning Point is forcing Erica Kirk on them. And this is my advice to Candace Owens. I mean, you're really sounding like Meghan Markle right now. You're sounding like Meghan Markle right now. Oh, you are bullied online. You take your laptop and you close the laptop lid. It's that simple. It's very simple to do that. At the same time, you can go to Twitter and you go to every other platform and you mute the words Turning Point and you mute the words Erica Kirk, and then you don't have to know about Erica Kirk ever again if you think that you're being victimized just because Turning Point is pushing Erica Kirk on you. You just mute the term, but you can't. You know you can't because your audience wants Erica Kirk's head on a platter. And you know that the only way that you can have numbers is to bash Erica Kirk. And you have to do that without getting sued. And that's why Candace does that. So again, I've told this. I've said this many times. Candace is really smart. She is really cunning. She does this, but she makes sure to do this in a way of not getting sued.
They have the money, they have the power, and we're going to shut up and we're going to take it. And we're going to have to accept this audacious polling. It's going to be Andrew Colbert up on Fox News. Like, it's amazing.
Well, yeah, it's amazing. Wait, did I just hear Candace Owens correctly? Says Jordan S90. She's saying that Turning Point is effectively running Kamala Harris' presidential campaign. What?
USA did as an organization. Turning Point USA is effectively now running Kamala Harris's presidential campaign.
What the fuck?
Okay.
Yeah.
No Democrat voted for Kamala Harris, voted for Biden. And then they just said, here, now you get Kamala, and we're running her against Donald Trump. But Democrats had to accept that because the DNC machine just had so much money, and they're like, we're just going to make her a thing. That's it. And they ignored the true metrics and just said, this is it. And then they acted aghast and shocked when Kamala Harris did not win. Turning Point USA now has so much money that they believe that similarly they can afford to outright purchase reality.
Okay, it was kind of a metaphor, but I don't think, Candace, that your audience has the IQ at this point. It doesn't have the IQ to understand your metaphors. But I would like to know, my lovely audience, my body language buddies, what do you think about this in the comments? My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy. Much love and bliss. Yeah, this is absolutely crazy stuff. These people, I really don't care if people get upset. I get upset. It is insulting to me. It is insulting to me when people still find Candace Owens like a solid source of whatever. Maybe entertainment. Maybe you can watch her because you want to be entertained. Maybe you want to, I don't know, cook and do the dishes and listen to a crazy conspiracy theory, as long as you don't take her too seriously. That is one thing. As long as you know that all that she does at this point, and I'm going to say that again, she does in bad faith. I have said that on my YouTube videos. I have told her directly on X, you're acting in bad faith. It's as simple as that. You're acting in bad faith. How can anyone trust? Oh, right, of course, if you have an audience who is low IQ, oh, Jesus, how can you say that? I love your show, but I am not low IQ. If you love my show and you love Candace Owens because of whatever, you are low IQ, and I don't know what are you doing here. Go away, please. I love, as of late, I have loved when I see my subscriber count. So many of you have congratulated me that I'm close to 1 million subscribers, but I find like success when I see my subscribers going down. Again, going back to 922,000. Right now it's 23,000. Maybe I can go back to 22,000 because I know that that's low IQ purge. Low IQ purge. And I'm happy about that. I don't like dumb people. I simply don't like dumb people. I try to explain things as much as I can. I don't pretend to be Mr. Rogers here for adults because that Scott Adams already was Mr. Rogers for adults. But I try to explain things. I try to bring you the facts. I try to explain that the dots do not connect. And if I begin to get ad hominem attacks, if I begin to get, this pushback, not in arguments, but in insults, then you will be banned. But better yet, this is like people self-deporting. The ICE offers you $2,500 for self-deporting in the United States. You can self-deport. You can go click unsubscribe and never watch my videos again, and we'll all be happy. We'll all be happy. You will be happy. I will be happy. Everybody will be happier. And I want everybody to be happy. I want everybody to be happy. Oh, why are you, Jesus? There are people with learning. There are people with learning disabilities. I try to be as clear as possible with the topics that I cover here. So no matter what kind of learning disability you have, you will get something out of my show. But there are people who have, let's say, some difficulties understanding, and they are proud of that. They are retarded and proud of that. So no, that's not how we roll here. If you're retarded and proud of it, good for you, but you're better off anywhere else. I don't want you here. Just go away. Unfollow. Go complain. Go complain, I don't know, to the wall. Go complain. Go do your thing. Whatever you want. And please, my beautiful mods, if you see anybody complaining, just ban them outright. You have my not permission. You have my encouragement to ban people on those grounds. Go ahead, make my day. We need to talk about this now. We need to talk about this now. Can we move on, please? No, I wanted to talk about that. I wanted to be very clear, because the more clear I am about that, the more clear I'm about those topics, the better is for me and everything. Everything. Yeah, a learning disability. We need to talk about this. And this is the kind of stuff that I try to make sense of, because we saw a video a couple shows ago in which Savannah Guthrie, with all this tragedy that Nancy Guthrie, her mother, has not appeared after 10 days. I think has been 10 days now, or 9 days. This is so concerning. I think it's like 8 days, but this is concerning because we have seen so many conflicting videos. We saw this video. I'm gonna play the other video first that we saw. Watch here on this show. And no, she doesn't have 6 fingers. She doesn't have 6 fingers. This is a legit video shared by Savannah, and this is what she said.
We received your message and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
So they were saying essentially that they will only be at peace if whoever took Nancy away return her, and they talk about celebration. It was not a birthday, it was not anything. People were saying that, well, maybe celebrate that she's back, perhaps. But at the same time, they could have been celebrate her life while she was alive, because many people were implying, and I agreed with some of their takes that maybe they already knew that Nancy Guthrie was not alive anymore, and they just wanted the body to return. That there's so many theories about this. And now the problem is that this implied, I'm going to play this again just in case so you get the message.
We received your message and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
This is very valuable to us, and we will pay. It looks like they had already contacted in some way, or were contacted in some way by the real abductors, the kidnappers, and they were willing to, okay, let's pay to get this sorted out. That's what it looked like. That was 2 days ago, but now we have this. Savannah Guthrie has made a new video. It was yesterday, saying, we believe our mom is still out there and we need your help. What? I said, wait a second, why would she record this video after the other one?
Hi there, everybody. I wanted to come on and just share a few thoughts as we enter into another week of this nightmare. I just want to say, first of all, thank you so much for all of the prayers and the love that we have felt, my sister and brother and I, and that our mom has felt. Because we believe that somehow, some way, she is feeling these prayers, and that God is lifting her even in this moment and in this darkest place. We believe our mom is still out there. We need your help. Law enforcement is working tirelessly around the clock trying to bring her home, trying to find her. She was taken and we don't know where. And we need your help. So I'm coming on just to ask you, not just for your prayers, but no matter where you are, even if you're far from Tucson, if you see anything, if you hear anything, if there's anything at all that seems strange to you, that you report to law enforcement. We are at an hour of desperation, and we need your help.
Yeah, it was basically a cry for help, which I don't understand. But I can understand if they have no clue. It seems that they have no clue. I don't know if this, at the same time, if this could be some kind of decoy for the abductors to relax or something like that. I really don't understand the strategy in here. Some of you reach out to me in regards to the way in the first message, you remember the first message that they were talking about, she was talking about her mother and her sister also talk about her mother. They were reading from this paper. It was really inauthentic, but again, was this kind of, let's say, talking about her mother's character, how she was this grandma, and yeah, it was humanizing her. And I found out doing some research that it's not like a let's say that it's not a it's not a silver bullet, but it's something that can help in many ways to humanize the victim, and maybe even if the captures, we're talking about people who abducted a 84-year-old lady, maybe so they can see their own grandmas in there. And yes, it has proven to be effective and in some instances, but I don't know, I had my doubts about that. We have some pictures of the kidnapper or apparently some kind of suspect. I'm going to share with you right now some pictures of the kidnapper right here that are surfacing. I don't know. They this is a police. They got this some of these pictures. And I showed you a couple more pictures right now from a Nest camera. I don't know how did they get this pictures, but I'm gonna share them with you. People are sharing them like mad. I don't know, what can you see? What can you make of this? I have no idea what to make of this. What is on the floor? I don't know what's on the floor here. I don't know what's on the floor. Yeah, there's another picture here as well. Look at this. This is from a Nest camera. We don't know what kind of camera. It seems that the guy, I would say that it seems the guy has a mustache. That's what I would say. It seems that the guy had a mustache. I don't know what do you think of this. This looks like a mustache to you. Does the son-in-law has a mustache? I think that he does. I don't know. I don't want to say anything crazy here. Just in case. Oh my God, this is so. Yeah, he does have a mustache. He does have a mustache. I don't know what to make of this. Can we make some kind of side-by-side comparison? I'm gonna do something crazy here. I'm gonna do something crazy. We're already here. Why not? Like me doing crazy things. Let's Two pictures here. And this one. Oh my God. One or two things. I'm doing something really smart, or I'm going to get into trouble, or two things can be true at once. I don't know. But that's Pedro Pascal. No. I know that Pedro Pascal is everywhere. But why is he holding plants? I don't know. Why was he holding plants? Have no idea. And why his mouth was shiny? Much less of an idea. This is a bit. I am not gonna say anything. No, I prefer to plead the fifth, like Ghislaine. I'm not gonna say anything about this. Dan Bongino just dropped 3 troubling possibilities in the Nancy Guthrie case. Bongino laid it out cold. The total lack of early answers after 10 days, no suspect named, no proof of life, no confirmed ransom payment details, no real public updates, points to one of 3 dark scenarios. 1. A highly calculated professional crime. Someone planned this down to the last detail, knows exactly how to stay ahead of the law enforcement, and is playing a long game. How can you play a long game with a woman who is 84 years old and needs daily meds to function? I don't know. Well put. He was holding a flashlight in his mouth. Yeah, that was explanation. Very good explanation, Carrie B. The silence from investigators isn't incompetence. It's because the kidnappers are that good or that connected. Number 2, the initial story we were told is not the truth, the truth or the full truth. What was sold as a straightforward kidnapping or ransom case might have layers we haven't been told. Bongino's not saying it's fake. He's saying the public narrative could be missing massive pieces, and the feds or local PD are holding back because the real facts are messier or more explosive. So maybe, the messages of Savannah Guthrie are some kind of code that is not for us, but for that is the way of communicating with the abductors, because that could be a possibility as well. Maybe that's why Savannah's messages are so cryptic and weird. That is not a message for us, the audience, so to speak. Maybe it's a message to have an actual public back and forth with the perpetrators. That could be a possibility, because why not? And number 3, law enforcement is completely stumped and scared to admit it. No leads, no suspect, no movement, and they're hoping the public pressure dies down before they have to say out loud, we have nothing. And well, they have already said that. They already said that they had nothing. So either way, Bongino's point is brutal. The longer this drags with zero transparency, the worse it looks. I don't know what else to tell you, but there's also this veteran homicide investigator, Paul Ciolino, who has worked with 48 Hours on CBS News as an on-air expert. I don't know what kind of credentials are those, but let's see what he has to say about this case.
I don't think she was kidnapped. We would have heard. Listen, they would.
There's music in here. Let's make sure that this doesn't trigger any sort of problem. Okay.
There would have been a video. There would have been a photograph. There would have been something, a lock of hair, a drop of blood, something mailed to somebody so they could verify, yes, in fact, these people have my mother. Kidnappers want to get paid quickly. They don't want this thing to linger. If you're negotiating with another drug dealer in South America somewhere, it could go on for a few weeks, a month, until they get bored and decide this is not worth it. And it's either pay up or we're going to kill this person. And it's always a negotiation, right? The first figure they throw out is never what actually gets paid, like any good business deal. There's going to be a negotiation, but it's going to be a fast and hard one. And there's been no negotiations. No one's called up and said, hey, where's my money? That hasn't happened. For the simple reason is nobody's kidnapped her, I don't think. If you're a good kidnapper, you're going to grab the medication on the way out the door because you're going to have to take care of her. You're going to have to keep her alive and healthy, right? So it shows a total lack of planning, the total lack of forensic evidence of anyone being in that house, of grabbing her, is another clue that she wasn't kidnapped. You walk in somewhere, you're going to leave something. I don't care who you are. You're going to leave some DNA, some footprints, some fingerprints, blood if anyone gets cut on glass or whatever. Listen, the FBI is great at crime scene processing. They've been processing this thing for, 6, 7, 8 days now. They've got nothing. If they had something, we'd have heard about it.
Not necessarily, but one thing that everybody noticed is that this happened and they did not treat it as a proper crime scene the first time, and then they had to go back there and put the yellow tape back again after all these people, reporters, amateur investigators who had gone to the scene and had tainted everything there. And we do know that now was confirmed by the PMA sheriff that there was no break-in. There was no signs of any sort of break-in, so that is all the more disturbing and concerning. Again, this is the reason. This is the reason why this has been so everywhere, and because nobody can understand what is going on. I simply don't know what is going on, but I would like to know, what do you think about this in the comments? My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the crime coroner. Much love and bliss. The crime coroner is the crime coroner? Crime coroner is my true crime channel on YouTube, so make sure that you go and subscribe there if you want to follow up not only on this but other cases as well. Here, the crime coroner. I'm gonna upload this ASAP before we move on to our last topic of today. And today was the ransom deadline, by the way. Today was the ransom deadline. If you were saying, now what happens? Are they gonna pay? Are they what's gonna happen to Nancy now? What is gonna happen to Nancy now? Something that people want to know. But we are going to go for a last topic. Last topic is gonna be your chat. Last topic of today is gonna be wholesome moment. We need something wholesome. We need something wholesome from now on then. And what we're gonna do is this. You know that sometimes we need wholesome topics about body language, and not every body language analysis has to be of crimes or toxic personalities. Sometimes we have a wholesome moment of actual strong emotions. And I've told you many times, oh yeah, men should only cry in front of God and no one else, or maybe when somebody dies. But maybe this is one of those exceptions when it's okay for a man to cry, and because this is a genuine moment that can break you down for it's worth it. So Jake Paul, as Mambo Italiano says, this big mountain of man, shaggy like a sleepy cartoon ogre, all pranks and fractured jaws in the ring, has somehow transformed into the icon of Valentine's Day 2026 when his fiancée won Olympic gold. And people have been talking about this Jutta Leerdam, amazing feat, and what she did, and she did this. This is what she did.
She got enough left to get across the line in first place. Oh, yes, she has, and she's done it. There's the crowning moment for the biggest star in Dutch speed skating. Jutta Leerdam with the last skate of the day in the head-to-head against the Japanese great Takagi, has done it. She's won it.
I think it was a record as well. Yeah, it was Olympic record. There's it. Olympic record as well. So yeah, it was a very touching moment. You know, we were talking about Lindsey Vonn yesterday. This is the kind of things that we need to address, as we know how hard it is for an athlete to be at literally at the summit of any sport. It takes years of grinding over and over again, practice, even if you want it or not. And this is the thing that I wanted to analyze. So many people make fun of Jake Paul, that he's a clown, he's this, he fought Mike Tyson, etc. And yeah, it's incredible after all that I have made fun about him sometimes. Watching him really break down, actually, generally, because, with so much fake stuff, fake emotions out there, it's wholesome to see somebody who, you see first the eyes of the expectation, right moments before it happens, and then it breaks, and you see the release. You see that, first of all, the release of that emotion. He knows all that his fiancée, that Utah has gone through, and he has this tension in his shoulders, and then you see the release. There's this sort of release, and most important thing, we were talking about this the other day, was with Melinda Gates. I remember with the analysis of Melinda Gates. At some point, she did this with her eyebrows, and we have very low quality in this video, but even so, you can see there's that same emotion, that strong emotion. It is like, can be confused with sadness. It is not sadness, but it's the same muscle that are involved. That's why you see that the eyebrows do this. It's kind of house roof shape, and he sees that, and that is when he goes for it. You see that it is. This is the moment that I saw. All right, this is a genuine emotion. I saw it immediately, that it was a genuine emotion. That's so wholesome to watch. So wholesome to watch. You see that this, he couldn't believe it. You can almost, even in the quality of the video, you can almost notice that he was teary-eyed. He was teary-eyed. That was the first time. You notice that his eyes become way shinier. The shininess of his eyes. This is immediate. This happens in less than 1 second. And that's when he realizes she did that. That's when she realizes she did that. And you see both the tightness of his body over that, expression of his voice, his mouth, everything. It's everything. You can see it. This was beautiful to watch, because you don't have to be a body language expert to. All right, the guy was for real, and everybody's sharing this clip. And I'm gonna mute this. We don't need to do the sound. And you see how he is like a kid, releasing all that tension. It's I don't know if he was actually crying. There's no way to see tears here, but I wouldn't be surprised, and I would be 100% okay with that. You know what's my opinion about men crying on camera? I think it was one of those moments where are 100% it. And yeah, I think he was wiping tears off his face of the emotion, and he was, doing that movement about actually crying, hugging people. This is another angle. This is another angle in which he can't believe that. He says, yeah, this is legit. And this is the kind of thing that I like to show you, because so many times we're analyzing fake gestures, fake facial expressions, people faking emotions. But sometimes we need this. We need to see actual emotions. People with actual emotions out there. And yeah, it was so great to see. That's when he regains a bit of his composure. But was several seconds. Yeah, even several seconds in, he still has that slant between his inner eyebrows. He couldn't believe that. I wanted to show that. And you see, even from one side, even from a profile angle, from a side view, that the eyebrows have the same expression. And his face is red. His face is red. He's trying to contain his emotion. That's how you spot genuine emotion. That's how you make a grown man cry. And well, congratulations for them. It was so amazing. This was great pictures afterwards. And Jake Paul himself tweeted this: "We just witnessed one of the most important sporting moments ever. The dog will tell. Words can't describe how proud of you I am." This is the kind of stories we need. We need more of this. We need more of this wholesomeness, even if, the guy is basically famous for triggering people. It's nice to see that even people who are paid to trigger people in so many ways are human at the end. At the end of the day, they're human as well. They can have strong human, genuine emotions only if we know when and where to look. But I would like to know, what do you think about this in the comments? My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Battle Language Guy. Much love and bliss. That was awesome. It was really awesome, not gonna lie. We need an intellectual purge. Yeah, at some point in my, I wouldn't say my YouTube career, but YouTube was the thing that exposed me to basically the world. And I'm grateful to YouTube because of that. But at some point I realized that I was not going to have a massive audience. And you know that I switched to English because I wanted, from Spanish to English, because I wanted to have a massive audience. But precisely the problem with a massive audience is that you are you are inviting a lot of crazy people inside. You're inviting a lot of crazy people, and I don't want the crazy people. I want, don't get me wrong, I was ignorant and a moron and stupid at many points of my life, and until very recently as well. And I'm still ignorant of many things, and I could be a moron about many things, but I'm willing to listen and learn if you have the arguments. Okay, that is important. I think that the single most important thing is to be open to arguments, to have a proper discussion as adults. And so many people nowadays don't want to do that. They want to, okay, this is the model of the universe of the world that I have come to believe that this is what happened, and this is what makes me feel comfortable about the world, and I don't want to accept anything besides that. Erica Kirk is evil. Turning Point was some kind of cover-up for human trafficking. I don't know. You do you. That's not how I roll. Again, truth is sometimes not popular. Truth can get you canceled sometimes. People don't like the truth. People want to be entertained, and people want to, want to listen to entertaining lies all the time, especially if they confirm their biases. The issue is, and pardon my language, the world has gone to shit because of that. And there are way too many huge influencers out there, some of them with many millions of subscribers and followers, pushing lies. Pushing lies for what? For clicks. Are only interested in the clicks, merely only interested in the what is sensational, tabloidy, you name it. And ultimately you get captured by your audience. But you have to ramp up the outrageousness of your claims and your shows over and over again. Have to be more and more outrageous. Have to be more and more wild. Your claims, your conspiracies. And that can only get you so far. You are basically selling your soul for an audience that is going to take you where? It's going to take you further and further away from you. And no, that's never going to be sustainable. Yes, for me, I haven't achieved, let's say, a point in which I can make the shows. Today's going to be a bit shortish, 1 hour and a half. That is like amateur for me, but 1 hour and a half is going to be okay. But the idea is to bring you wholesome moments. The idea is to bring you the truth. If you're uncomfortable with the truth, you can, well, discuss it. The truth will still slap you in the face. And if you're uncomfortable with me highlighting stuff and you, let's say, call me names on the spot, it's going to be a great pleasure for me to block your ass from this channel and every other channel. And it's so funny when people email me complaining of why did I block them. And sometimes I have considered my position. I was wrong about this. Can you unblock me? And I have unblocked them. That has happened as well. Because yeah, we can make mistakes. And maybe if we'll learn to listen to each other, to not react on first impulse, which I have done in more than one occasion myself, maybe we can learn to hang out together, and maybe we can have the greatest community in all over the internet, the greatest community in the history, not only of the internet, but humanity. And that's what we are here, and that's why we're enjoying right here. So here we have another super chat from Patricia Luna as well. I just found out the English lyrics of what Bad Bunny sang during the halftime show. I told you not to look for it. I told you those lyrics were going to be horrific. Oh my God, I'm glad the FCC is investigating. Much love and bliss. I need it after reading those lyrics. Yeah, Patricia, but he sang sanitized version of his songs. The problem is, as everybody has guessed, people are going to look for other songs, and well, they're going to find that those lyrics can be are beyond R-rated, maybe X-rated. We could say that X-rated, but that's the thing. My bottle language buddies, my name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the bottle language guy, and until we meet another video, just make me be sure. Here. Okay, Kash Patel has shared video. Okay, Kash Patel has actually shared video in the Nancy Guthrie case. Additional recover images from the same camera. See? Okay, there's video. I'm gonna show you the video just in case. Just have a last second. Let's download video here. How can I download several videos? I don't know. You know, the plugin that I had to download the videos has changed. Let me see if I can download video. I can just download one video. I'm gonna show you this one because why not? We're here. We're live. Is this or maybe there's one video, just one video. There's a video that this was shared by Kash Patel himself. So yeah, if Kash Patel shared this, it's because they're genuinely desperate. You think that the guy has again, yeah, a mustache and some kind of beard. This is interesting, but we don't have any more clues besides this. Why did he do this with his hand right now? I'm watching this for the first time. Or maybe he is removing the camera or something. Let me play this. Has a backpack. what was he carrying on the backpack? And then he goes away. And then he brings some. That's where he grabs the plants, and then he comes to cover the camera from the plants. I don't get it. I don't get it. What is the other video about? Let's see which one is the other video. The other video is the guy trying to cover the camera with plants. Literally, it's not much of a... And yes, having a flashlight on his mouth, like some of you mentioned, really clever. Nothing more. I don't see anything else here. Just checking. Last minute check-in. FBI Director Kash Patel releases new images of an armed man in a search of Nancy Guthrie. Ski mask on the morning of Nancy Guthrie's disappearance on the front door. Over the last 8 days, the video was recovered from residual data located in backend systems. Yeah, this is what we got. We got nothing new. So, well, I'll see. I will keep you posted. My Body Language buddies, my name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Body Language guy. And until we meet tomorrow in episode 124, right? 24. Remember the most important words: much love and bliss. Take care. Be safe. I love every single one of you. Bye-bye.